Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Jacksonville Jaguars and going over the top 5 challenges I think they're going to face in 2021. But before getting to that topic, just a quick question for those of you viewing. Do you have Trevor Lawrence winning Offensive Rookie of the Year? I want to hear from the Jaguars fans, especially. Comment down below. I think he's got a good chance. I mean, he's probably the runner-up if you look at the Vegas odds. But things could change if a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance, maybe one of them start. Zach Wilson, who knows? You guys tell me, who do you got winning Offensive Rookie of the Year? Is it going to go to Trevor? But getting straight into it, challenge number 1 is going to be Trevor Lawrence. He's this generational talent. He's the next Andrew Luck. And with that, there's going to be a lot of expectations that he's going to have to face. And no matter what, as a rookie, he's going to have some growing pains. You know, a lot of people are comparing him to, he's going to be like Justin Herbert, where he comes in and breaks records. He might even be better. And while I think that is somewhat possible, for a couple reasons, he's got arguably a better head coach already. You know, Justin Herbert. Having Anthony Lynn, as long as Urban Meyer is good enough to keep his job, he's already got a good better head coach to lead him. I think he's got, the offensive line isn't a lot better. I'll get into that a little bit later, but according to Pro Football Focus, they have the Chargers offensive line ranked as last year. So as long as the Jaguars aren't last, he's already got a better start there. Weapons, you could argue Keenan Allen, Mike Williams are better than DJ Chark, Marvin Jones Jr., and Laviska Shenault. I feel like the Jaguars have a little more depth, but the Chargers have more star power, so that's kind of a push there, whatever you want to say. I think Trevor Lawrence is a better backfield. Variable and variable, take in the equation whatever you want. But to me, it's going to be hard to just expect Trevor Lawrence to match that. While I think he has the weapons to do so and the help to do so and the extra games to do so. You know, Justin Herbert only played 15 games. Trevor Lawrence, pending no injury, should be starting all 17 games. So those 2 extra games could really help him put up some stats and some numbers that could break some records. But to just expect that from him, it's going to be a challenge. As much of a generational talent as he is, guys in their first year, you know, Peyton Manning went 3-13 his rookie year. I'd say he didn't have the best rookie year, clearly, but he turned out all right, clearly. So, Trevor Lawrence, as much as I'm not a Jaguars fan, but I'm rooting for Trevor Lawrence. He's a likable guy. It's hard to root against him. He's got a good personality. I'm hoping the best for him. And if he doesn't have the best rookie year, I'm not going to knock him and call him this bust because it just happens rookie year. I'm not trying to expect the world from him. I don't expect him to take the Jaguars to the Super Bowl or to the playoffs first year. I just expect a guy to be the face of the franchise, and even that's a lot of expectations. So overall, while I think he has a talent to reach these expectations, it's going to be a challenge to fully match them and satisfy them and then some, but we'll just have to see. Challenge number 2 is going to revolve around the head coach, Urban Meyer. I don't exactly know how's he going to do in the NFL. Everywhere he pretty much went in college, he's had success pretty much everywhere, but the NFL, it's a whole different league. And I'm not exactly sure Urban Meyer is going to just transition like it's nothing. I'm hoping the best for him because, like I said, he's had a winning record in college. It shows he's clearly got the resume to play in the NFL, but it's just a whole different speed at that level of the game, and I don't know if it's going to come up well. He's got the right weapons to do so. He's got the next Andrew Luck. He's got, you know, he's not dealing with the Houston Texans who have no idea what they're doing, or the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff, or the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, he's got some foundation there, and I like this team to do well. But in his first year in the NFL and Trevor Lawrence's first year in the NFL, they're both going to have a lot of growing pains and a lot of challenges to break through. It's just going to be a hard transition. It's going to be a hard challenge to get used to the NFL, get up to the speed in the NFL, and be able to compete at a high level and have a lot of success in the NFL. I think in time they could do it. But first year together as this young duo, both rookies to the NFL, it's going to be a challenge for them to create success in year 1. In time, like I said, I like them, but in the short term, it's going to be too hard. Third challenge is going to be the offensive line. I'm hoping between, hopefully, Jawan Taylor or Walker Little, there will be a star tackle that Trevor Lawrence can really rely on whichever side. I don't know where they're going to put Walker Little. Right now, he's at left tackle on the depth chart, but still, there are a couple tackles I feel like they could have taken that might have been better. Liam Eichenberg, I was kind of a fan of, but Walker Little will do the job as well. I believe he's out of Stanford. Again, the offensive line, as long as it's not as bad as, you know, dead last like the Chargers at Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence already got a decent start, but still this offensive line is nothing to brag about. It's not the Packers O-line. It's not the Chiefs last time, that O-line that was at one point healthy last year. Now it's completely rebuilt. But it's not the Rams O-line. It's not the Saints O-line. It's not the Bucs O-line. It's not a top O-line in the league. And, you know, I don't expect that to happen for Trevor. I don't expect him to just inherit this fortress like Dak Prescott did his rookie year going to the Cowboys. But I'm just hoping it's not so bad that the Cincinnati Bengals is 2.0. We see Trevor Lawrence break his leg like Joe Burrow. Either way, I don't think he'll have a lot of protection, but I don't think he'll have zero protection where he breaks a leg. I just think it's going to be a challenge for him to, get hit as much as he's going to be. Being in Clemson, one of the best college programs in college football, that's one of the best offensive lines in football. You're not going to get hit that much compared to the NFL, going to one of the worst teams in the NFL. I mean, clearly he went to the Jaguars because they're the worst team in the NFL, so there's going to be some hits and some sacks he's taken, but I do think it's good enough to at least prevent him from breaking a leg or ACL or ankle, whatever you're trying to prevent. I think it's good enough to stop that, but I don't think it's good enough to just keep him safe and not from getting hit at all. I do think it'll be a challenge. Just transition from college to NFL, he's going to get hit more than he ever has before. Number 4 on the list is the defense as a whole is a little bit concerning to me. I do think there's some specks of talent. I like Josh Allen as a dude that had double-digit sacks his rookie year. Miles Jack, I like him in the linebacker core. I think C.J. Henderson's going to get better. I like the Shaquille Griffin pickup. I'm not the biggest fan of Tyson Campbell. I do think there were some better cornerbacks, at least for the first pick in the second round, or I like to call it the last pick in the first round, 33 overall. It's a great pick. It's still a high draft capital pick. I don't know if I would have gone with Tyson Campbell there, but I'm not in the front office. I don't see every piece of film like they do. They probably know more than me, I'd say. But again, there are a couple other corners that I were bigger fans of. But if he turns out all right, you might have a decent secondary of C.J. Henderson, of Herndon, of Shaquille Griffin, of Tyson Campbell. I could be wrong, and this could be a great secondary, but to me, the specs of talent between Shaquille Griffin, Miles Jack, Josh Allen, it's just not enough, and this is going to be a weak defense this year. And for a year or two, it's going to be a while before they recover, and that's going to really hold them back, especially if on offense Trevor Lawrence is struggling with some rookie growing pains. It's going to be a rough year for the Jaguars. But with the generational talent, with possibly Tyson Campbell, who I could be completely wrong on, the Jaguars team may have a lot of upside. And again, I'm not trying to knock the Jaguars. I'm actually a pretty big fan of their team. They're not my number 1 team, but I do like the Jaguars. I root for them occasionally on any given Sunday, but I just don't have a lot of high hopes for this year. I'm not trying to be super critical and negative. I'm just saying this is a video about the negatives of what they're going to have to face, and the defensive struggles is one of them for me. Then the last one on this list is just kind of a 2 things in one for a challenge, because I think separately they're both not enough of a challenge to mention. One of them is the crowded backfield concerns between Carlos Hyde, between James Robinson, between Travis Etienne. I feel like you could have 3 arguable starters there. Carlos Hyde, not so much, but I was just not a huge fan of the Travis Etienne getting pick, and you could kind of say I'm belittling every pick they took. Tyson Campbell, Walker Little, Travis Etienne, I'm just not satisfied. I guess I need to just look at the bright side at some point, but I'm just saying, when you already had James Robinson, arguably the best running back in his draft class, which I think he is, no, but you can make the argument that he is. You didn't need Travis Etienne, and I understand Urban wants to line him up in the slot, but I just don't know about that. And then the other challenge that's being combined with this one is just the drama of this team overall between the crowded backfield and the Tim Tebow thing. It's a challenge to overcome, because I don't know what the Jaguars are doing right now with the 3 running backs in the backfield that are all arguable starters, and with the Tim Tebow thing. It's just a lot of drama going on right now. I hope they find an identity and stick to it. Find a roster they like and stick to it. Find a depth chart that works. Find the rankings of who's starting where. Is Travis Etienne officially going to be a slot receiver, or is he going to crowd up the backfield and compete for starts and reps and handoffs with James Robinson? And, if it's a competitive backfield that turns out like a Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt thing, and you got one of the best backfields in the NFL, or Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, Marlon Mack thing, where you got one of the deepest running backs in the NFL, I'm not complaining then. But to me, I just feel like at 21 overall, I feel like there were a couple better picks out there to Travis Etienne. But again, I'm not in the front office. I could be completely wrong on Walker Little, Tyson Campbell, Travis Etienne, but we'll just have to see. You guys tell me, do you agree or disagree with my 5 biggest challenges for the Jaguars this year? 1's going to be the growing pains for Trevor Lawrence and the expectations he's got to live up to. 2 is going to be Urban Meyer's transition to the NFL. 3 is going to be the O-line. 4 is going to be the defense. And 5 is just going to be the drama between the backfield, the crowded backfield, and the Tim Tebow thing. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Like I said, guys, comment down below. Do you agree or disagree? And referring back to the question today, I would pick Trevor Lawrence to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I got to say, if we see somehow a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance start week 1 and they both get full seasons, I could see one of them coming away with the title for Rookie of the Year, just because they have a little more help on the current rosters they are on. But we'll just have to see. As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. 2-minute warning.